You're listening to the Silver Phoenix Happy Hour with Blaze and Ken. And now, Blaze and Ken.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Silver Phoenix Happy Hour. I'm Blaze.
I'm Ken.
How's everybody doing?
Everything's going great, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
We just came out of Easter. How was your Easter?
It was I don't want to say uneventful, but this is the first year that I actually did not make the trek home to see my family because I had seen them the week before for the birthday in Atlantic City, and it's a long drive and stuff. So I
Right.
ended up just talking to them on the phone and seeing what they were all up to, what shenanigans. So I just relaxed and I did watch Succession. It was a killer episode, and I won't say anything more than that, but it was phenomenal. So, what did you end up doing for Easter?
For the weekend, I wound up going to my folks' house and putting some furniture together for them, beating myself
Okay.
up a little bit. And then I actually helped out going back over on Sunday where we celebrated Easter over there with my folks and my sister and niece and, you know, all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, I talked to everybody pretty much, but that was about it. I don't know if you noticed, but there's the candy. There's a lot of candy in the stores right now, and actually that's a perfect segue to hit up Nicole and see what she's got for us in the kitchen. So let's roll that clip.
What's up, Ken and Blaze? It's the most wonderful time of the year. No, it's not Christmas. It's the week after Easter, and that is prime time to hit the candy aisle at places like CVS. I know what you're thinking. Oh, our dietitian, she's telling us to eat candy. Here's what I'm saying. The more you say that you can't have something, the more you are going to want it, the more you're going to crave it. And when you finally do get in front of it, you're just going to go kind of nuts with it and probably have way too much. If we can allow ourselves the sweet treats of the season, especially when they're 75% off, we're probably going to be all the better for it. But I want to point out some things that I think are a little bit more special than others in that candy aisle this time of year especially. One, who doesn't love a classic Cadbury cream egg? They only come around once a year, unlike a lot of the other candies that just are in some kind of like other iteration during different holidays, right? So Cadbury cream egg, one of the best 150 calories you will ever spend. Do you like Whoppers? Oh my goodness. So you can find Whopper eggs in the bag. Those are fine, lovely. But keep an eye out for the minis. These are one of my favorite mix-ins for popcorn. So, so delicious. And this container is actually 3 servings. So if you're making popcorn for a bunch of people, perfect. Just dump this in. Last but not least, I just want to say I was wrong about something. I always thought that Reese's eggs tasted different because the actual peanut butter was different. Nope, that is incorrect. But the shell of chocolate on a Reese's egg is thinner than the shell of chocolate on a Reese's peanut butter cup. So you get like a higher peanut butter to chocolate ratio, and you might find that more enjoyable. Long story short, foods should be fun. They shouldn't be feared. And there is always room as part of an overall balanced diet for all of the things that you love. So go hit that candy aisle. Let me know what you score. Ken and Blaze, back to you in the studio.
Yeah, so I took Nicole's advice already and went out and grabbed all the delicious candy for 50% off. Not all of it, but my favorite is the Reese's peanut butter eggs. They're so good.
That's
So
probably my go-to. I'm a
yeah,
big Reese's guy, and I'll give it another week or so when Walgreens has everything discounted to like 80, 90% off if I'm gonna wind up
exactly.
grabbing some.
Yeah, I wanted to catch the eggs before they were all gone. I wasn't sure. One of the
Right.
things I did do over the weekend that I forgot to mention, I went to the Mets home opener, or actually
Oh,
the
get
Mets
out.
second game, the home opening weekend. But but they won, and even though I'm a Phillies fan, it was nice to it was nice to root for the Mets, and they did hit like 2 home runs, and it was really cool to see that Big Apple come up and, and the music, and they had some new traditions. There's one thing that I don't know if you've heard yet in baseball, but now there's a timer.
Oh
So
yeah.
for each pitch, in between. So it just, to me, and I don't know, I'd love for the audience to get involved here a little bit and tell us what you think about it. I think being at the game, it just kind of rushed things along for me. I felt like I couldn't really enjoy even the music, how they play the songs in between and all of that. And I just didn't appreciate, I guess, the fastness of it. It didn't feel as pure. It's supposed to be like America's pastime, right? So to me, I mean, I understand it could move things along a little bit, but it was like 30 seconds for one of them or a minute for in between. It was just fast. It was really fast. And it pulled me out of the game a little bit, even though I was there.
I'll be honest, like I appreciate baseball. I'm not a huge fan. I think part of it is because it could last forever. So the idea of maybe tidying it up a little bit, kind of appeals to me.
I mean, I understand. I just think they went a little too short. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even after the home runs, I didn't feel like it was enough time to really enjoy that seventh inning stretch. Same thing. It felt very fast.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wasn't as big of a fan of that, but we'll see. Maybe it'll grow on me as time goes on. And I'm watching my Phillies and the Yankees, of course, as well. So, speaking of this week and appreciating things, also, it's World Music Therapy Week. Um, I remember in college, I did consider, or in high school, really, I did consider in college, instead of being a music major and with theater and acting and all of that, I was maybe going to go for music therapy. And I don't know if you've ever had anything for your voice where you've had to go to therapy for your voice, but I have,
No.
and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that they're doing, because if you can't communicate with your voice, it's it's really, really tough. So, especially in the line of work that we're in. So, do you have any kind of music that you appreciate? What's your favorite kind of music to listen to? Do you have like a
Uh,
favorite type?
well, I mean, I've always been a rock kind of guy.
Hmm.
And as I get older, I tend to weird out over what's considered classic nowadays. Because
Right. I know, isn't that funny? That's so very true. I don't have a specific genre that I listen to all the time, because I'm constantly shifting it up depending on my mood or kind of what I need for the day. But on the way home today, it was Sinatra in the car,
yeah,
so that's always classic and fun. But then I could go to house music and go to country, and kind of I mix it up a lot. So I
I
appreciate
guess
all music.
I guess whatever I feel like I want to belt out at the top of my lungs in my car during the drive back and forth to work.
Now, do you have a karaoke song that's your go-to then, since you're saying, about belting out a song?
Oh, yeah, a couple.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know what? Being Guns N' Roses fan, Paradise City, I guess, or Sweet Child of Mine, or I Used to Love
Ooh,
Her.
okay. Wow, those are tough to sing. My go-tos are usually either a Beatles tune or, um, I try to stay away from, like, the power ballad singers like Whitney
Yeah,
Houston and Celine Dion, because if you can't do it better, and I
don't
know
don't
I
even
can't
bother to
do
try.
that better, I don't even try,
I learned
I
that a
don't even
long time
bother.
ago. Yeah,
Yeah, for a while it was Lauryn Hill and the Fugees, "Killing Me Softly," that version of it instead of
yeah,
Roberta Flack, but I could also do
yeah.
Roberta Flack any day. So, but listen, I see that our guest has joined us, and I'm really excited to bring him in. Actor, voiceover artist, and stunt performer, Mack Kuhr. Welcome to the show, Mac.
I am.
Hi.
Hey, Blaze, good to see you.
Hi, it's so good to see you too. This is my
Actually,
co-host Ken. Ken, this is Mac.
hey,
How are
Ken.
you?
Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Yeah, it's been a minute, huh?
It has been Chelsea Film Festival
Yeah, I
2000,
don't ask me what year, because I don't remember, but I just remember very clearly
14,
that I was
something
on
like
the red carpet, and you came up and we had a really lovely
Yeah,
interview.
we
And I
did.
remember we exchanged information so we could keep in touch and
Yes.
follow what you're up to. So
So
yeah,
happy we followed up, and so happy to be back on
I know. And
jamming with you again.
congratulations. Since
Thank
then, you've
you.
been married since then. So
Yes.
how's
Happy
that
man.
going? Married life?
Married life's doing well, doing great. Traveling a lot. We just we did it right. It just feels really good. And when you get married on top of a mountaintop, it's things are a little bit different. So we took 4 honeymoons, and life is good. So I married a nerd, so I love it. Love it. So
Yeah, but she's also somebody who competes in Spartan races with you,
yes,
right?
she is. She
Yeah.
is, and she kind of didn't get me into it, but we raced in the same race, and I saw all the medals on her wall when the first time I went over to her place. I'm like, I don't know if I can hang. So, oh my God, yeah, she's a stud, and she climbed Kilimanjaro. So if that doesn't tell you, the first hike we had, I'm like wheezing, and she's just like in a weighted vest. Like, are you kidding me right now?
No, that's
So
amazing.
yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Just for reference too. So Ken has some stunt work background.
Excellent.
And I do as well, a little bit, not as much as you guys, but a little bit. So I want to
Rock on.
hear kind of how you got into that. And was it because you do a little combination of everything between acting, voiceover, and stunt work? Let's start with what came first for you. So was it acting first, and then you segued, or what came first?
Yeah, I guess when I moved to New York, long story short, I came here as aspirations to be an animation voice actor. I was like,
Okay.
I just love cartoons and stuff like that. But I was doing background, kind of getting my feet wet, doing the whole thing, which I loved that I did. And I learned a lot. And I was in the right place, right time, big production. They needed somebody for a certain stunt. They didn't have enough guys, and raised my hand. And before you know it, I was in the saddle and had a hot weapon and running through it. And I'm getting direction from Christopher Nolan. I'm like, whoa, what the hell is going on? But I didn't book anything after that for quite a while. That was the luck of the draw. And then from
Right.
there, I kind of took myself serious to up my training, proficiency and skill sets, headshots. Boy, I had a bad haircut back then. No wonder I wasn't booking anything. And then from there, just kind of developed myself as a professional from so many different angles, and things kind of moved up from there.
Nice. Nice. Do you have a favorite project that you've worked on, let's just say the past 5, 10 years, because you've been in it for a while now?
5-10 years.
I know it's tough.
Yeah, it's hard to, as a stunt guy, you say, what's your favorite project? They're all my favorite,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Or the one you're working on currently is always your favorite, right?
Exactly, the one I'm currently working on, because you never know, you're going to get a call or something. So I gotta say, I was, I love all my work on the Blacklist. Court Hessler's been absolutely amazing with me and trusting in me to be on that for multiple seasons. This is our final season, bringing me in the final season. So that meant a lot. And, embracing him and all his trust he's had in me to be a part. And, Emmy award winning, he's just an amazing professional. So to be on that team and trusted, I got to say that really hits home. And Court has really just been a mentor as well. He's a seasoned professional. So I would say Court Hessler, Blacklist, it's sad it's coming to an end, but, I learned a lot and definitely grateful.
Mac, you had mentioned that your wife is a nerd.
Yes.
I also myself classify myself as a nerd, and looking at some of your credits, looking over your bio earlier, I have to ask if you are, based on some of the projects you've worked on.
Am I a nerd?
Yeah, voiceover acting. I mean, a motion comic of Akira.
Yes.
Working on The Punisher and Jessica Jones.
Yes.
I mean, some of my favorite titles right there.
Thanks. To answer your question in short, I'm clinically diagnosed as a nerd. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. There's no cure for what I have. We dress up when we go to Comic-Con, the whole thing.
Nice.
We dress up on Halloween and everything like that. So yeah.
Done that too. Yep.
So
Listen, you're in good company here because the
All
three of
right.
us together
Safe space, please.
Yes,
we
yes.
should have talked beforehand and set up outfits, different
I
costumes.
Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird, Blaze. All right.
Why not, Ken? Why not?
Hey, listen, we did have a voiceover artist on a few weeks back, and he does Star Trek on one side, and then anime on the other. So I was dressed anime, and
Oh,
Ken was Star
man.
Trek. It was
And
so
I
much
dressed up as
fun.
Kirk. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, we could have done that for
Excellent.
you in a heartbeat.
All right. I love that. The great thing I love about VO, and you guys would certainly, I think, agree, is you're in the shadows. You
Yeah.
can still walk amongst everybody. Nobody knows who you are.
You could
Right.
walk
love
in your pajamas to work. You
I
know.
know. I don't know how many auditions I've done, with a shirt off and just, all right, done, go back to bed or something. So they have no idea.
Now, have you ever forgotten and been busted? Because I will say the other day at work, we had a guy who was showering, and you only saw his armpit, like his hair under his armpit, and But trust me, I did watch for a little while to
Oh
see what
my
was going to
God.
happen.
It's funny you mention that.
But
It's funny you mention that because my day job is, so I do orthopedic exercise. Like
yeah,
I work with a clinical setting, and I had a remote patient today, and I work off of like AirPods or something, and I was like, hold on, I've got her on the tripod, and I was like, hold on, I'm gonna go. I have to use the restroom real quick. I still had my AirPods in, and Bluetooth was still connected. And right when I went to the bathroom, I'm like, I took them out and put them back in the room. I was like, I almost went to the bathroom and everything with being on with the patient. I'm like, oh my God.
yeah.
So that could have
It's
been
such a
just
common mistake
traumatic.
to make,
Traumatic.
honestly. Like, I don't know about the showering. The bathroom, you
Yeah.
get it because you
Yeah.
go, you get
Shower.
up, you run and go. But a shower, that's a lot more
Come on,
invested.
right? Come
Yeah.
on, jeez. You want to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, possibly.
You're asking for it.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the spectacular Spider-Man continued.
Yes.
Yes, the Hobgoblin.
Excited.
Tell us about that.
Hobgoblin is back during COVID. I got approached for the project, and it was a grueling live direction audition process for the Hobgoblin. I still have about 70 saved files of just the laughs. So it was awesome because Spider-Man's my all-time favorite hero in comics. So just
Cool.
to be asked was pretty amazing. The animation's really, really great. They give me some samples. And to take the live direction outside of the Mark Hamill-ish, what I was kind of leaning into, obviously I could never replicate, but they really liked what I went with. And my voice was like, by the time I was done, but they said, yeah, you got it. It was pretty exciting. And it's going to be hopefully by this year, it's going to come out. COVID's really caused a lot of problems.
Yeah.
But the big news is I think they can say I can release it for season 5. I've already been locked in. I'm Captain America. So
Oh, nice.
my niece and nephew, bam, there it is.
Cheers. See, I just
There it
willed it.
is.
I willed it.
Oh.
I'm so magical, I swear. I just willed that. I had
Huge.
no idea.
Huge.
Spider-Man is your favorite character. Captain America's mine. Actually, one of our episodes, I actually have a replica jacket of the Chris Evans suit.
Oh man.
Yeah.
God, Steve Rogers,
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was essentially the World War II costume, but done up as a leather jacket. It's gorgeous.
That's one of the best. Yeah, I think First Avenger was done so well.
Oh, so well.
I was skeptical at the beginning. I was like, "Oh, he was Human Torch. What are you going to do?" And
that was actually apparently what he was afraid of too.
Yeah, he was, and rightfully so. It's like, how can he really do this? And shut me up.
So talking about Spectacular Spider-Man. So I mean, I never watched the Spectacular Spider-Man show, which was the newer one over the last 10 years or so. I was a fan of the 90s show where I know Mark Hamill played Hobgoblin.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about? Like that's a fan project, right?
It's a fan project with a pretty good amount of funding on it. It's not like a Disney XD. So when I saw the animation, knowing it was a fan project, I was like, let me see the animation. Is this going to be worth my while? They're going to be able to pump out the episodes and things like that. And then he showed me, I'm like, what? They're really putting into this. And I said, you know what? Let's go for it. And at that point in time, I was really kind of going after, it was COVID, and I invested in all this home equipment, trying to do what I could in a space that wasn't outfitted for, soundproofing. And then from there, I did with the best I could, and shut the door, tried to shut up the cats. And my loving fiance at the time was just having to hear take after take after take. And from there, they said, you know what, let's go for it. So what fan project, whatever, it's Spider-Man. The animation's amazing. And
Oh yeah.
I'm like, bring me on, let's go. So
Mac, I've actually worked on a lot of fan projects over the years too, and one of the things I got to be a part of was a Batman film where I got to play the Riddler, which was my favorite Batman villain. And the hardest thing, it's like, there's so many incarnations and takes on the character, and you want to make sure if you're going into it, you're doing the character justice, as well as trying to satiate fans. The problem is they're fans, and you can't please everybody sometimes. No. And again, fan films feedback can be great and not so great.
Yeah, so I'm ready for the flack, going and following in the footsteps of Hamill, and certainly with Optimus Prime when I was doing that for Transformers animated. It's like, obviously it wasn't Peter Cullen, but it was, his name escapes me, but it's just like, big shoes. Let's do the best I can, just drink that lemon water and go for it.
Well, right before you came on, we were talking about, because it's music therapy week. Have you ever, seen a music therapist or someone of vocal, somebody that handles vocal? Because I know as a voiceover artist, this is your instrument.
Exactly.
So do you have techniques and things that you do?
Outside of instruction with animation, animation VO instructors here, and Ellie Devers, who was my first instructor when I first moved here with AP Voices. And outside of that, no real formal instruction with musical therapy and voice, things like that. I did have an opportunity when I was bartending in a karaoke bar. Horrible experience. I thought it was going to be fun. But there was an opera singer in there who was actually like a master instructor in opera, and he was just like, hey, why don't you come? I never took him up on the offer. I should have back in the day, but to answer your question, no, just coaches.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, switching it over for a minute from Spider-Man to Batman, Dark Crusader, you have an audiobook coming out and you play Spellbinder, is that correct?
Spellbinder, yeah. Never knew the character. So
how was that going from kind of the book and the series, what's the big difference for you in preparation for those roles?
For that one, I had to research. I had no idea who Spellbinder was. I'm sorry to all the Batman fans. I just did not know who Spellbinder was. So I had to do research of past voices, what was he like and things like that. So there was a lot of backstory research on that. Like, who the hell is this guy? And am I going to just butcher the character? I try not to.
Yeah.
I did kind of want to start segueing into the live action stuff. And again, doing stunt work and acting. What are some of the difficulties or some of the obstacles that you wind up going through, or challenges actually starting off working in stunt work?
Stunt work, obviously the physicality of it, Ken, the physicality of, when things may go wrong, things like that, when you're training, as well as being on set. This last year was a little bit of a year of injuries with a broken arm, concussion, sprained ankle, these kind of things. But keeping your skill set fresh, keeping yourself limber, strong, flexible. It's just, as stunt performers, men and women, we want to stay in that superhero shape, holding yourself accountable, things like that. So, but on my sake, it's not as difficult as I don't make myself a full-time stunt performer. Whereas there's amazing men and women that just, their kaleidoscope of talent expands from tread falls to fire burns to weapons to driving and so on and so forth. And I keep a small bubble of what I feel I can do efficiently and proficiently on camera. But that's where I just tip my hat and bow down to those that just are constantly turning into superheroes each and every day and each and every year and making themselves better. So I got to say, I handed off that torch to them. That's what they really do. I do a certain skill set. I stick with that. And if somebody say, hey, can you do that? I'm like, I'm the first person to be like, nope. Nope. But I can tell you who can. I'll pass the buck to somebody and give them the job. It's like, no, it's not me. It's not me.
I do a lot of conventions, and one of the guys that I still love talking to, and then I can constantly hear stories from over and over, the same ones over and over, actually. When you think of stunt work, you think action films, and a lot of people tend to forget about horror movies. Kane Hodder.
Know the name, haven't worked with. Yes.
But I mean, just some of the time spent with him, just listening to all the stuff he had been through and goes through still. I mean, the guy's like pushing 70 at this point,
Right.
and he's still jumping into fires and stuff. And I'm like, man,
he's
why? Why?
War horse. It's just. I had a similar experience where I worked with the amazing George Coyle, a legend in stunts. There's a George Clooney, Brad Pitt movie, The Wolves, that we were just doing. It was just a simple fight scene outside, but I was a little nervous coming in. It's just like, this is George Coyle. I'm like, oh my goodness, he's going to be doing Deadpool 3. He's already working on it. And for him to give me the compliments that he did at the end, it was like, oh my goodness, he felt a little level up there. And he's like, Deadpool 3, be ready. And I'm like, ugh. And that will be the end of my career. I'm hanging everything up, because if I get 3 claws in me, it's over. It's all downhill from there. You killed Deadpool, great, but 3 claws of if I get them right here, right up through the head or right in the chest, I'm done. I told my wife I'm hanging it up, because nothing's gonna get better than that. So
absolutely
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you were just talking a little bit before about keeping in shape, and I know you've done some races with your wife, and you said about climbing and all of that. Is there a cheat food that is your go-to cheat food? Because we just had Easter, lots of candy, for sale right
big
now.
meals.
Do you have a go-to cheat
Who
meal
doesn't?
or?
I've got my drive-by cheat meals, which in New York, there's no shortage of Dunkin' Donuts. And donuts are my kryptonite. If I feel like I've been training hard enough, I'll dip in for a blueberry cake donut, and I'll leave it at that. I don't go crazy for the huge things. It's just like 270 calories, something like that. But to answer your question, a cheat meal, if I'm really grinding it out in the gym and training and stuff like that, it's a Sunday of Papa John's special 2 medium pizzas for delivery and that's a Hawaiian, Canadian bacon, pineapple, and Roma tomatoes and spicy sausage with the 1900 calorie cinnamon bun dessert, which I eat first. Then I pound half of each pizza after that. And I am a complete slob when I'm doing it. And I always don't eat all of it, so I can save some of it in the fridge for the next day, because I love cold pizza. So
you gotta do cold pizza in the morning.
Yes, it's the best. I don't care. I don't even drink water first. I go straight to it.
Me too.
Cheat meal.
Me too.
Yes, I am disgusting.
Dessert first. I like it. Dessert first.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
The cat mug. Love that. Send me the link.
Mack, let me ask you too. Of all the stuff that you've worked on, is there a project, a character, something that you haven't tackled yet that you would love to sink your teeth into?
Character per se, I guess the big one I really like to do, it was happening before COVID got shut down and all that kind of stuff, is Western. I want to be out in like New Mexico somewhere, something like that, riding horses. Big fan of Yellowstone. I mean, I was like halfway moving to Montana after watching all seasons of that. So I'm ready to go to cowboy camp. I'm ready for bolt action, rifles and riding and all that kind of stuff. So put my butt in a Western.
Have you ridden horses before?
I've ridden, yes, but I want to be able to go at full speed. I want the camera like racing next to me in a pod car or something.
Yeah.
I want gun fights. I want a saloon bar fight. I want the I want to go John Wayne.
Now,
Yeah.
I could tell you that there is a town in California. It's right by Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
It's called Pioneer Town, and it
Yes.
has. Have you
Yes.
been?
Yeah, I
It
don't know
has the
about it.
city. Yeah, it has the city that looks.
It's
I
all
mean,
ready. Yeah.
it is. You see the saloon. You see everything. I went last March, and I loved it. It was so cool. And they do still film movies there.
They just slush you
So
in.
I
You
was like,
just
that would
I'm
definitely.
bored.
I could definitely see you doing that.
I want it bad. I want twin revolvers. I'll train as long as I have to. I'm not trying to be the next Doc Holliday or Wyatt Earp, but it's just like, this project, I was the lead in it. It was called Death's Just a Jingle Away, and it was a great project. And it was everything I was talking about. There was revenge and murder and love and all that stuff. And I was on with Christine James Walker as the lead, and it was just like, damn it. Didn't happen. So, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Something
Yeah.
else, anything. But yeah, get me in a Western. I'm ready. I'm putting it out in the universe.
There we
Come
go.
on,
I mean,
somebody.
listen, if only I had the cowboy hat that I could have, because
I'm telling
we
you,
went with the Captain America.
you're all over the place.
It would have been very
It works
funny.
for me. It works for me. You got the Beth Dutton look right now, kind of like a Montana sundress from Yellowstone.
Oh, yes.
Totally.
Yes.
She is a badass. I mean, come on, that blaze. You can jump right in those shoes. Boots.
There we go.
Jump in the boots.
I like it. I like it. I do have a couple pairs of cowboy boots, so.
I don't doubt it.
So let's talk now about the anime work that you've done, because I'm a big anime girl. So do you watch anime in general? Is that
I watch my wife is a big anime fan. I love anime. Sometimes I just don't know what's good and what's not, so I just kind of watch with her and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll walk away. But I have my favorites. But I love anime. I went to my first anime fest this last year, so that was exciting. And actually having drinks on Friday with some of her anime friends that she played Final Fantasy online with and everything like that. So anime is fun. I always enjoy watching it in Japanese. That's when you really feel it and absorb it. So enjoy it. And yeah, it was really exciting to come on board with that motion comic with the iconic, Akira. It was wow.
Yeah.
So to play the Colonel like that, it was really well. So it felt pretty cool.
And then you have another project that I saw, but it's a very long name, and I wasn't sure.
I can't even pronounce it.
I thought I would butcher it. It was like Gundam Sangoku.
Very Gundam-ish. Yeah. And playing a couple characters in there that are kind of some badass robots. So
we'll call it GSS.
Yeah, GSS. It's just, I look at it like, what? I don't know. It's like some of the artwork sometimes confusing because there's some of those Gundam Robotech, even back in the old days and everything. It was, it's where it all started. So.
Yeah. Yep.
So I loved it there. I was like, I wanted to draw it at that point. I was drawing a lot of cartoons. It's like, I can draw like this. And after about 10 minutes, I'm like, no, I can't. No, I can't. I want to be able to draw those eyes. I'm like, no, that doesn't work. So try.
How old do you think you were when you first got the bug to be in the entertainment industry? Like,
I guess maybe on camera, probably more so when I was doing some soul searching, living in the Outer Banks after I finished grad school, worked for the athletic department, Virginia Tech, and then I was doing nothing but for 5 years, doing nothing but surfing, playing volleyball, and bartending, and living on the beach. I literally had all the time in the world to smell. And the summers are great, but the falls are slow, and everything closes at 9 o'clock. You got a lot of time for introspection. And self-discovery. So I started thinking about, maybe getting back into that kind of thing because I tried a little modeling stuff back in Virginia, nothing. And I was like, you know what? Why not? And a friend of mine was living in New York City. I was like, let me go up there and just see New York City, And I came back and I was like, I can do this. I'm kind of done with the beach. I'll always love the beach, but I was like, I need a change. And boy, was it drastic. My parents, my family all held their breath. They're like, really? Okay. And it's like, I'm going to go for it. I got a bachelor's, I got a master's, strength and conditioning, clinical work, and which I do now. I do all of it now. So, proven that you can juggle it all. But it was probably back then when I had a lot of time to think on a beach with nothing around, looking at the moon and watching movies when I'm the only one in the theater. I'm like, you know what? it's go time. And it's one of those kind of fairy tale stories. I came up here, and for the first good number of years, I got my butt kicked. Like I said, bad haircut. My clothes didn't fit right. I thought I knew my sizes. I remember like a background wardrobe assistant saying, "These your sizes?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "No." And I was like, they're all baggy and everything. I don't know what the hell I was doing. So it was bad. It's like, but I'm glad I made the leap. I met my wife. I met Carrie. I'm in my career, and I'm no looking back. And I always go back to revisit Virginia Tech, where I earned my degrees. I go back to the beach every year, multiple times, to remember where that introspection happened, where I could have that clarity, and how it guided me to where I am. So I'm always appreciative of those milestones and those lily pads that I jumped on to get me to where I am. I just said lily pads. I don't know, but hopefully you know.
I liked it. It was a beautiful visual.
Boing. There's Mac going by.
Very
That's how you
Frogger
do.
of you.
Exactly.
Very Frogger of
I've
you.
been squished by a car,
Oh my goodness.
Stunts, you okay? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm all right.
I'm telling you. One final question, Ken, before we ask our last question.
What do you have on the horizon that we can look forward to?
Yeah.
Right now, as for industry wise, everything's just finishing up with Spider-Man. I finished the Brad Pitt, Clooney movie, and hopefully Deadpool 3. Hopefully George is gonna give me the shout so I can die. But outside of that, it's an exciting project. It was happening during COVID, and it's going to be humongous. I guarantee you. It's an animated series. It's going to be transmedia. It's going to be gaming, feature film, and animated series. First going animated series, Azurius Rising. Azurius Rising is from Black Sun Entertainment. David Weinstein, director, creator, amazing visionary. And we talked all through COVID. Said he went through thousands of auditions and everything like that and landed on me for Commander Locke. The animation is from his animation team across multiple offices across the world. Worked on Avengers Endgame, Matrix, that level, Disney, Pixar. The animation is unbelievable. It will be a major streaming platform. We don't know exactly, but it will incorporate motion capture, of course, with computer generated images, all that stuff. So the stunt work will be done live. So I'll be in LA for that, and it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. And the story, I've already read like the first seasons, and I'm just licking my chops. The world is going to go crazy about it, and I know it because and honestly, long story short, I'll shorten it, is that Michael Bay wanted to buy it. He was on deck, ready to buy it in person with David, saying, "Will Smith, we want him for it. We're going to turn this into a feature film." And the whole time when David was talking with Michael Bay, he was talking about animated series, animated film. And Michael Bay's like, "No, I want to make it live action." David's like, "No. So that is coming to fruition. And the other project is from the amazing mind of Chris Piskevich, award-winning graphic novelist, writer, Chris Piskevich. This Is Where We Fall. This Is Where We Fall. It's taken so many awards. Hopefully it's going to go forward with animated film. I'm voicing Rico in that. We're looking to hopefully have Hugh Jackman locked in as the main character, and cross your fingers, but it's going to be huge. And This Is Where We Fall will be an absolute hit because the graphic novel blew up, and I'm coming in as Rico and that. So major VO projects in animated film and feature. So again, we'll work in the pajamas.
Yes, love it.
Just not the stunts in pajamas. No stunts. If I show up, it's going to be my last day. So.
I love it. That's amazing. Congratulations. I'm looking
you.
forward to seeing all of that.
Yeah.
Is there release dates or anything or
nothing yet?
Nothing yet. Okay.
Nothing
I
yet,
wasn't
but
sure if
the gears are grinding.
Okay.
Gears are grinding.
Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Well, one thing that we do ask all of our guests at the end of our interviews is if you could give a piece of advice to someone who's just starting out in the business, stunt person, actor, voiceover artist, take your pick. You can there's probably things for all three
Yes.
that are different, but take it away. Let us know what your thoughts are there.
Voiceover, it takes more than just having a voice that sounds like radio, that kind of thing. People say, oh, I want to do voiceover. I can be a radio disc jockey. Well, then be a radio disc jockey. When it comes to voiceover, there's a lot of endurance. You guys can attest to this. There's a lot of endurance. There's a lot of maintenance. There's a lot of ups and downs, and to be able to hold, reps comes to voiceover. There's a lot of commitment of being in the same space. Stunts, skill set. Be serious about it. The men and women in stunts are shadow warriors and heroes and amazing people. And if you want to be on set with those people, I think you can attest this. It's about safety. It's about safety. So fine tune your skill set. Take it serious. Stunts is very dangerous. It's exciting. It's fun, but be serious about it. It's a job like any other. Yep. And acting, I guess, on camera, don't let anybody tell you can't do it. I don't care what anybody says. Somebody says you can't, you spit in their face and you just keep going. You just don't spit in their face, but you go after what you want. You go after what you want. More than just don't give up on your dreams. Go after it. My big motto is either it's go time, or if I'm not working, I'm working. If you're not on set, then you darn well better be working on skill improvement, working in a bar, waiting tables, whatever you got to do to make yourself available. But you keep working on yourself. You don't sit on your butt. Work on your brand. Become better every day. If not, somebody is doing that and they're going to get that job, not you. Yep. So go after it.
Amazing advice. Well, thank you so much. Oh, yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been great to see you, Blaze. It can't meet you.
Goodness.
It's like a reunion today.
I'm so happy that you were able to join us today. And
it was definitely a pleasure to meet you today.
It's a pleasure on this side. Thank you so much.
We're going to keep in touch with you. And after the projects are done, the ones, especially at the end that you mentioned, we're going to circle back and have you back on and and be able to show some of your work as well.
And showing the voice in action and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be
fun. And actually, after reading your bio, I want to talk to you about your parents at some time too.
Yeah, that's a whole other interview right there. Yes, believe it. Yes, they were clowns. How did you get in the industry? Mom and Dad. So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, cheers to you. I'm not sure if you have a drink there, but cheers to you. And there we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Great to meet you. Great talk. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Same here. Thank you. Have a great night.
Talk soon.
Guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Wow. That was fun.
Wasn't that fun?
Oh God, what a great guy.
I knew that you'd love him. It was one of those, instant connections on a red carpet. Just, and honestly, everybody was kind of running in, and I didn't have a list of people who were attending. So it was sort of just one of those things where we just kind of connected, eye to eye, and then he came over and we had a really good interview, and then just kept in touch. I haven't seen him in since then, but once in a while on Instagram or wherever. Which, by the way, for reaching out to Mack on Instagram to add him, that is his Instagram. I was putting it up most of the show anyway, so there's that. And then here is his website. You can also go to IMDb, just put Mack Kuhr in there, and he'll pop up, and you see his whole body of work on IMDb. So, what a great show!
Yeah,
what a great show. Yeah, I think there's only one piece of business left.
Yes, I think we have to go beachcombing with you.
We do, and this is actually a part 2 of a couple weeks ago for your birthday when I did the exterior of the squid. We're going inside the squid today. So let's roll that clip.
All right.
On this episode of Squid Games, Beachcombing with Blaze, I'm going inside the squid to show you a couple really cool things. On part 1, I showed you the outside anatomy, the mantle, the 2 tentacles, the arms, and these really cool suckers. Now we take a peek inside. This is called the siphon. This propels the squid through the water just like jet propulsion. These are the gills, located on both sides of the cephalopod. I'll show you a close-up of the gills right here. They look kind of feathery, right? This shiny part here is the ink sac. Oh, and just like the octopus, the squid also has 3 hearts. 2 bronchial hearts located on each side of the gills, and 1 systemic heart. The bronchial heart pumps blood to the gills where oxygen is taken up. The systemic heart pumps to the rest of the body. Next, I'm feeling for the lens in one of its eyes. I really want to show you what it looks like. It looks and feels kind of like a small pebble. And lastly, this is called the pen. The pen is an internal shell, or what's left of it at least. It's made of chitin and protein. Well, until next time, explore, learn, love the adventure.
All right, so not for the faint of heart because we were inside the squid, and some people, I guess, maybe could be a little. But I think what amazes me is the mantle of the squid is where calamari comes from.
Yeah.
That the yeah. So it's the ring calamari. It's really
Ring. Yep.
interesting, and it does make you think. Now, I I still do like some calamari, but it definitely does make me think a little bit more
It does
when
for
I'm
me
eating
too
it.
now because it is one of my favorite foods. And after watching that, I'm like, okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, but 3 hearts just like the octopus, and honestly, the octopus is one of my favorites. I have a couple favorite marine animals, but the octopus, I think they're pretty closely related. So that and the cute little cuttlefish. I mean, you know. But anyway, all right. Well, listen, if you want to follow me on Instagram, and this is just my personal Instagram, you can follow me at Blaze Kelly Coyle. If you want to follow Beachcombing with Blaze, that's the same thing. It's just at Beachcombing with Blaze. And then for Ken's information, let's put that up here real quick.
You don't
There
have
is
to do that.
Ken's
It's all
Instagram.
right. I have
Uh,
nothing to show.
but yeah, it was a great week this week, and I'm so grateful that Mack Kuhr, actor, voiceover artist, and stunt performer, was able to join us
Absolutely.
and share his tips. I loved the advice that he gave for those. I like that he split it up too and gave you all 3 to kind of sink your teeth into. So I
I
love it.
believe over my time when I was when I was acting and having fun, I
Yeah.
believe I actually spit on a director because I was having problems. I don't recommend it because I really haven't done much work afterwards. So
Well, yeah, the spitting part will, but
yeah, yeah.
I
Don't
think
spit in a director's face, all right?
no, you know
Don't
what? And it's one of those things I'll never forget. Um, but Mr. Cunningham from Happy Days. I took my grandmother to see Showboat, and we were in the front
I
row.
love that show. It's one
Yeah,
of my favorite
very
shows.
front row. Tom Bosley was the one of the leads, and during one
Was he
of
the
his
captain?
songs, yeah, one of the
Yeah.
songs, he spit and it landed right here on me. And my grandmother, like, not knowing that you could actually like hear her because her ears, her hearing wasn't so great at that point. So she was very loud with everything. But she said, "Did Mr. Cunningham just spit on your boob?" And honestly, the 5 rows behind us started cracking up. He broke character for a second. Like it was quick, but he broke character for a second when she said it because you just couldn't like not giggle.
That's amazing.
And at the end of the show, he did give me like a little one of these, and I was like, "It's okay, spit on
That's
me
amazing.
anytime." That happens. Listen, that's what you get
Yeah.
for sitting in the front row anyway.
Yep. Ne Never go see Evil Dead, the musical, and sit in the first 2 or 3 rows.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, listen, we have one more episode until the end of season 2, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's make it a good one to close out the season and bring on season 3. I'm ready.
Yep.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
too.
All
Yep.
right, good. Well, listen, buddy, have a great week, and thanks again to Mack Kerr, and have a great week, everybody. Take care.
You too. Cheers.
You've just enjoyed the Silver Phoenix Happy Hour with Blaze and Ken.